I don't know if you guys can see this. I just gave the best lecture in the entire world, and I didn't hit record. I'm devastated, but I'm going to do it all again. That was so good. It's not going to be this good now. You can't do that twice. I was so inspired. Now I'm depressed. I was going to save that for forever. All right, I'm going to try my best here, guys. That's so sad. Okay, talking about the divisions of the nervous system. The divisions of the nervous system. Here we go. The first one is the CNS, the central nervous system. What is the central nervous system made of? It's made of the brain and the spinal cord. Now, what is the function of the central nervous system? The central nervous system is processing all the information that it gets from the environment. There's an external environment, there's an internal environment. The external environment is all the stuff that's outside our vision, our hearing, our taste, our smell, touch, tickle, itch, pain, temperature. I don't know if I said that. That is all external information. We have internal information coming from us, like what our blood pressure's at, what if is our bladder full, what our body temperature is at. That's all sensory information that's going to come into the body, and our body's going to process that information. That's what our central brain and spinal cord do. Then we have a motor output that is going to make. So based off the sensory information of what is happening to us at this point in time, we are going to make decisions, and we're going to have a motor output. All the motor output is telling different things in our body to work. So you tell your muscle to contract, you tell your heart to beat faster, you tell your bladder to squeeze, you tell your esophagus to do peristalsis, you secrete acid into your stomach. Those are all motor. Now, the sensory input that comes in is part of your PNS. So your PNS essentially, and there's many ways to divide this, but I like to divide this into sensory and motor. The reason why I divide the sensory and do it this way is because I think this is more of a functional way of looking at it. So you've got two divisions of the PNS. You have the sensory and then you have the motor. So what is sensory? It's all information that's coming into the brain telling you about the internal and external environments. Now, there are several places that we can get sensory information. So if you get it from your muscles, your joints, your skin, that is going to be your somatic motor system. So a bug crawls on me. It starts touching me. I start noticing it. I look at it. There's an action potential that's fired from that sensory neuron that's turned on. It's going to travel up the nerve. It's going to go up to my spinal cord. It's going to travel up to my brainstem. It's going to go to my thalamus. It's going to go to my primary somatosensory cortex and my parietal lobe. We're going to learn that next chapter. That is somatic. Then where else do we get sensory information in? So you can get it from your organs. So you can get it from your visceral. What would this look like? You drank a bunch of water because it's hot and you don't want to get dehydrated. Your bladder is full. You start sensing that. It's telling your brain, hey, my bladder's full. Somebody starts getting pain in their chest pain because they're having a heart attack. That is visceral sensations. You can also get, now this is technically in the somatic division. Some books do it, but you can have your special senses. This is all the senses that are in your head, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, taste, touch, or taste, vision, hearing. That's all special senses. So all that, this is all we do. This is our brain. It's taking in information from the PNS, from those nerves. It's sending those signals in. We have all these nerves and all these nerve endings out there, like little antenna, like sensing the world, and it's sending information back to home base. And then home base has to make a decision on what it needs to do based on that information. So let's just use the buggy, for example. I got a buggy crawling on me. The brain goes, oh, we don't want to get bit by that. That would be bad. Let's get this motor system into action. So the first motor system that we have is going to be our somatic motor system. So what was somatic? Muscles, joints, skin. So this is going to tell our muscles to contract. Then we could use the same example. You got a big tarantula on you. What's going to happen? Well, you also need your visceral system to engage. So not only do you have a somatic motor system, you have a visceral. Visceral just means organs. If anybody has a visceral response, it means like they feel like they're going to throw up. You watch like nails on a chalkboard, it's like you feel it in your inside your body, like, ugh, or some people like cotton, or if you hear somebody grinding their teeth, or you watch somebody throw up, like those are all visceral responses that somebody can have. So that's your motor, visceral. So a bug crawls on you, what's going to happen to your heart rate? It's going to increase your heart rate. It's going to increase your blood pressure. It's going to make you more alert. Blood's going to go to your brain. That is your visceral motor system. So all motor means it's going to tell something in your body to do something, whether it's a muscle or it's an organ or a gland. So in this case, the visceral system, we have two divisions. We've got a sympathetic and a parasympathetic. So the reason that we have the two divisions of the visceral system is because we only have so many resources in our body. It's much like your house. If you leave a room, do you leave the TV on? I mean, if you do, you should turn it off. It's wasting energy. Do you leave a fan on? There's nobody in there to cool you down. Fans only work by cooling people down. I mean, it does circulate air, yeah. Do you leave the lights on? No, you turn everything off when you leave that room because you're not using it. Well, that's the way the body works. If you are running from a lion, does your body need to worry about concentrating urine? Does it need to worry about digesting food? No. So we're not using those resources. Your body goes, hey, stomach, do you need that for right now? It's like, no, survival's more important. Go ahead and take all that blood. It's going to take the blood to the things that we need to fight or flight, to run away or fight something. What? We need our big old strong muscles to get blood to them. Why? So we can get ATP, so we can get all that sliding filament action, so we can get that power stroke, so we can get our muscles to be able to fight something or to run away. Well, how do we? So everything that we do is going to enhance that system. So what happens? Our heart is going to beat faster. Why does our heart beat faster? It's got to pump more blood to these muscles to get more ATP. It's got to pump more blood to the brain to get more ATP to the brain so you can think yourself out of this situation. I mean, have you ever like had something stressful happen, like somebody cut you off at on the highway, and all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, I'm awake now," or you get on a roller coaster? That's your fight or flight system. Now, your body doesn't know the difference between a lion trying to eat you in a test or a job interview or something really stressful or your professor calling you. It doesn't know the difference between those. So that's how you're going to feel. You're going to activate. Your pupils are going to dilate. People that are on sympathetically activating drugs, their pupils get like this big. It's because you're trying to get more light in to see all the bad things that are trying to kill you. The opposite of that, it also is going to inhibit digestion. So if you're like me, who's an anxious person, generally your digestion's not going to be great. Like you're going to get stomach aches, maybe you get intermittent TMI, intermittent like constipation, diarrhea. It's because you're like just shoveling food into a system that's not turned on. You're not secreting digestive enzymes, you're not secreting acid. The peristalsis is slow, so that your food just kind of sits in there and it festers and it makes you feel bloated. And one of the best things that we can do for our digestion is stress reduction, because that sympathetic system is too engaged. And the parasympathetic doesn't get to kick in, which is the next part, which is our rest and digest. Thanksgiving's coming up. This is a parasympathetic holiday. You eat a pumpkin pie. Somebody brings an apple pie. Somebody brings a coconut cream pie. Somebody's got a sweet potato pie. You had an extra helping of mac and cheese. Listen, I didn't know mac and cheese was an option. I found that out from my patients. They were like, oh, I was asking them what their favorite sides were, and they were like, oh, you don't get mac and cheese? I was like, mac and cheese? Mom, you have cheated me out of Thanksgiving. I didn't know. So now we have mac and cheese at my house because mac and cheese is the greatest side. I mean, stuffing is pretty good, or dressing, wherever you're from. Um, that is real good. But man, we are a mac and cheese family on Thanksgiving now. So anyway, you've eaten too much of it, and now all that blood has to rush to your digestive system, and you now have to go lay down on the couch because your system has taken all of the resources and putting them towards digestion. You got, what is that called? The itis? When you get the itis, you got to go take a nap because your parasympathetic system has engaged. Okay. So just a review. We have CNS, PNS. CNS, brain and spinal cord processing, integrating all that information, and then what it does, it takes sensory information in and it makes a motor output. That defines our two peripheral nervous system divisions. There's a sensory division. We get sensory input from where? Muscles, joints, and skin, somatic. Organs, visceral. Things in our head, special. The PNS, we also have a motor division. So once we process all that information, we take it and we make a decision, and our brain it'll tell them, like bug was crawling on us, oh, smack it away. Motor system engaged, that's somatic motor. Our heart beats faster because, oh, that tarantula was on us. Heart beating faster. Pupils dilate. Digestion goes down. You feel that drop in your stomach? Like whenever you get like something, have you ever had that feeling? Your stomach just drops? Like when you get real stressed? Yeah, that's your visceral motor system engaging. You're turning off your digestive system if your sympathetic is activated. So there's two divisions of your visceral system. You've got the sympathetic and parasympathetic, fight or flight, rest and digest. Okay, I think I recorded this time. I did. Oh my God, that was so depressing. All right, guys, this is the divisions of the nervous system. Make sure that you can draw it out.